Good morning. Today is Saturday, January 28th, 2023, the day after I collected the parking lot Yamadori. I'm going to call it parking lot Yamadori ficus. But before I go out and show you the current status, I'm walking through my workshop, and yesterday I worked on a discarded banyan bonsai. This is actually something I picked up when I was taking lessons from Eric Weigert in North Fort Myers, the great and famous Eric Weigert. And I'm actually trying to extend the air roots on this using the technique of putting the short air roots in straws and putting the straws down in the ground, in the soil. But this piece was thrown away. This was a piece of trash. And one of the students in Eric's class had brought it in, and she didn't like it. She thought it was not worthy, and she threw it in the garbage. And I picked it up out of the garbage and said, that thing's alive. It's got some great dead wood, which I've treated. It's got a beautiful live vein, and I've kind of weirded the thing out a little bit. I kind of like the way I've reduced the leaves, and it's been a few years since I've had this, but this turned out to be great. Little bonsai, great little bonsai. But I kind of got distracted. That's 2 minutes worth of distraction. Let me show you the status of the parking lot Yamadori. And here I've got the base trunk. Right now, just keeping it moist, and I've got it leaning up against a palm tree here just to keep it in place. It's a little windy today. I haven't, I'm gonna go to Tractor Supply and buy a pot, like a horse feeding trough kind of pot that I'm going to put in for a while just to grow some roots and let it recover from the shock of being, oh, this is just a little, actually this is a cutting from the top. Yeah, I'm going to root that, but I never throw anything away. As you can tell, I got more cuttings and crap in here, and Carter's got this is a baobab right now. Cut back, that's starting to push out a little bit. But so hopefully not going to make you sick here. So this is the trunk, and I hope if I can get this to grow. I hope this isn't like the one I had trouble sprouting a few years ago when I took the what was it, the banyan air root from under a huge 100-foot tall banyan tree, which you'll see at the end of this, toward the end of this video. But this is going to turn out to be a kind of little walkthrough. It's a little damage from the hurricane. This guy blew off, broke the pot. It's one of my favorite Pittosporum trunks. That I killed the tree, but I kept the trunk, and I redo that occasionally as what's it called? Phoenix graft. All kinds of stuff going on in here, cuttings, and it's really cold today. It's like 62 or 64 or something like that. It's a little windy, but this is what you get when you have to live in Florida in the winter. Sometimes it's actually pretty rough weather like this. Sorry for hobbling, but I've got a bad SI joint right now. I'm working on some more coconuts. Be sprouting those guys. And some cuttings, bougainvillea cuttings all over the place. It's one of my favorite guys. It's green island ficus. and cuttings all over the place. Here's one. This is a bonsai. It's a red, and I've exposed the roots, and I've actually cut open the centers, and I'm tying them together to want to fuse them. So as you know, if you've been watching this channel for any length of time, this is where I burn up my mistakes. And I've cleaned it out recently, and I've been using the dirt from all the fires I've had in here as part of my bonsai soil, part of my actually potting soil, because it's got so much nitrogen in it. So, nice little buttonwood, pushing out some new growth. Some green island ficus I picked up. The neighbor was getting rid of his hedge, and he had a whole lot of them, several of these open. Okay, you can see a good shot of it from here. This is the rest of that tree, of the parking lot Yamadori tree, and this is the cut end is in the water. And the head, the top, I've defoliated it. Actually, you can see the air roots that were holding it to the top of that palm tree. So I've got this just sitting, the end sitting in some water in the pond. And it's another one of those green island ficus hedge material stuff. But this is going to be really cool, because I'm going to put this, I'm going to actually plant this where I had the air root that blew over and broke the pot after the last hurricane. I had that right here in this spot, and it was all the way up here. I've got several, so the head was right in this area. And when it blew over and broke the pot, I cut all the, most of the, in fact, all of the branches off. I had been air layering the branches before the hurricane, so I had a number of them already sprouted or rooted, and I ended up putting it right here. And look at that thing, is really popping now. Oh, sorry, the ducks are. This is cheese and freckles. We used to have cheese and quackers, but quackers, this is before we had the quack shack set up, but we didn't have a top on the caged area. And guess what? A big owl came by at night and took cheese away. There was no evidence of feathers, blood, or anything, but we saw the owl. It's a huge owl, and this is what they do sometimes. And I forgot to bring them in, and it was after dark, and it was only about a 15-minute period where our security camera showed that that's when she was taken away. So we replaced, there's no replacement for quackers, but for cheese, I'm sorry. Quackers survived the attack. But we went out and got ourselves Freckles, which is, she's not laying yet, but she will. She's cute. So that's the status. I was going to cut this, I keep getting distracted. I was going to cut this bald cypress down, not down, but I was going to cut the top off, and I was going to do a bonsai. I grew this from seed, but I've decided to let it keep going. It loves the spot. It'll be a good source of seed, and I won't have to steal it from my old Oaks Club where I used to live. Oh, you can always tell when my wife's taking a shower. See the soap suds? We have an outdoor shower. and it drains into the pond here, just the shower stuff. But we get a little bit. But the bald cypress seems to love the soap suds. But you never know, do you? So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, this is gonna be a cool piece. Where am I gonna put it? I've decided to put it right here where these fiddle leaf figs are. By the way, these fiddle leaf figs, I air layered these from a piece that a big fiddle leaf fig tree that I grew out back. So I'm getting nowadays that's worth some money, isn't it? But I'm gonna plant it right there, and it'll go up, and the head will be right about in here. So this will be a really good spot for it because the trunk is almost straight. It's got a little bit of movement, but by planting it there, it'll be all trunk until it gets up to about here. And I think that'll be cool. So that's where it's going to be planted. And next video will probably hopefully include that, because it'll be done by then. But that's the current status of the parking lot Yamadori. I've come up with that term, so that when people do searches for Yamadori, maybe they'll find it. Or parking lots, they'll find it. I've defoliated this guy. This was all full. And I've collected from it a lot of cuttings, so I'll have some more stuff to grow. And Mrs. Santa Claus will just keep saying, "You got too much stuff out here, Jim. Too much stuff." It's like you saying there's too many lights. See you later. Happy, this is a weekend where they decide who's going to be in the Super Bowl. And too bad for Buffalo, but it was really snowy, wasn't it? Good luck with the rest of the winter, you guys up north. And I'm freezing kind of here in Florida. It's not even 70. Bye.